I'm going to tell you something I have said to patients in my clinic more times than I can count. And I want you to hear it the way they hear it, sitting right across from me. The cold spoons, the cucumbers, the extra water, none of that is touching your actual problem. Not because those things are useless in general, but because what is happening under your eyes is not a swelling issue, and it is not a hydration issue. Here is what it actually is. Directly behind your lower eyelids sit 3 small pockets of fat whose only job is to cushion your eyeball. They are held in place by a thin, fibrous wall called the orbital septum. Think of it like the netting on a hammock. When the collagen fibers in that netting start to weaken after 50, those fat pockets push forward through the gaps. That is your under eye bag. It is fat that has physically migrated forward through a wall that can no longer hold it. And then, at the same time, the fat pad that used to sit high on your cheekbone starts to descend and deflate, which removes the support from below the eye entirely. And on top of all of that, your lymphatic drainage slows, fluid pools, and the whole thing looks even worse, especially first thing in the morning when you're standing in that bathroom doing exactly what I know you're doing. The cause is not on the surface, it never was. But it is specific, it is identifiable, and every single part of it is correctable. And that is exactly what we are getting into right now. Root factor 1, collagen, collapse and vitamin C deficiency. The first root factor is one most women know about in a general sense. But almost no one understands how directly and specifically it is destroying the structure directly under your eyes. Now you might be thinking, collagen, yes, I've heard this before. I take a supplement. And I want you to stay with me here because what your supplement cannot fix without this specific nutrient will surprise you. Here's the biology. Your body cannot manufacture collagen without vitamin C. Not in reduced amounts, not at all. Vitamin C is a required cofactor for an enzyme called prolyl hydroxylase, which simply means it is the biological key that activates the enzyme responsible for building the collagen chain. Without enough vitamin C, that enzyme simply does not work. Your orbital septum, that hammock netting we talked about, is made primarily of type 1 collagen. And your body produces approximately 1% less collagen every single year after the age of 25. After menopause, research published in the British Journal of Dermatology confirms that collagen density drops by an additional 30% in the first 5 years alone. 30% in 5 years. Most topical collagen products cannot penetrate the dermis, simply means the deep layer of skin, which is why they cannot address this structurally. Your solution is not a supplement. It is half a cup of raw red bell pepper every single day. Red bell pepper contains more vitamin C per gram than an orange, approximately 190 milligrams per cup, and it delivers it alongside natural bioflavonoids that increase absorption. Eat it with a protein source, 2 eggs, a handful of walnuts, to give your body the amino acid building blocks it needs alongside the vitamin C to actually construct new collagen. The next factor is one that almost no one connects to their face, and it may be the reason everything you have already tried has failed. Root factor 2, chronic subclinical inflammation, dietary sodium and hidden sugars. Factor 2 is inflammation, but not the inflammation you are thinking of. You might be thinking, I do not have inflammation, I feel fine, I don't have any diagnosed condition, and that is exactly what makes this factor so destructive. It is subclinical, which simply means it operates below the threshold of symptoms you can feel, but it is doing visible damage to your face every single day. Here is the 2-part mechanism. First, excess dietary sodium causes periorbital fluid retention. Simply means it pulls water into the loose connective tissue around your eyes and holds it there. That fluid sits directly on top of the herniated fat we already discussed, amplifying the bag you see in the mirror every morning. Second, dietary sugar triggers a process called glycation, which simply means sugar molecules attach to collagen fibers and cross-link them, like stapling the hammock ropes together in the wrong configuration, making them rigid, brittle, and non-functional. A study in the journal Skin Pharmacology and Physiology found that every 10-unit increase in dietary glycemic load accelerated visible skin aging markers by a measurable and significant degree in women over 45. Standard anti-puffiness advice says drink more water. But if your sodium intake is high, more water makes periorbital retention worse, not better. Your solution is a morning potassium flush. Mix 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, available at any grocery store for under $2, into 8 ounces of warm water and drink it first thing in the morning. Potassium directly counteracts sodium's fluid retention effect at the cellular level. Pair this with a strict 21-day elimination of added sugars to begin reversing the glycation damage in your orbital septum. If this is making sense to you, and you want to keep getting this level of clinical detail, the kind that no sponsored content will ever give you, make sure you are subscribed, because what I'm about to share in Factor 3 is something most dermatologists never discuss in a consultation. Root Factor 3, Lymphatic Stagnation. Factor 3 is the one that explains why you wake up with bags that are significantly worse than when you went to sleep, and why they sometimes improve by midday on their own. You might think, of course they're worse in the morning, that's just gravity and lying down. And you are partially right, but what you don't know is that there is a specific system that should be clearing that fluid overnight, and after 50, it has almost stopped working in the orbital area. The lymphatic system surrounding your eyes has no pump of its own. Unlike your circulatory system, which has your heart, your periorbital lymphatic network simply means the drainage channels around the eye socket relies entirely on two things: facial muscle movement and gravity-assisted flow toward the preauricular lymph node, which simply means the node directly in front of your ear. When facial muscles lose tone, which happens progressively after 45, and when you sleep face down or fully flat, that system goes nearly dormant overnight. A 2019 review in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology confirmed that lymphatic drainage efficiency in the periorbital region declines measurably with age-related muscle atrophy. The stagnant fluid becomes a reservoir for inflammatory proteins that further degrade the orbital septum from the inside. Your solution has two parts. First, the orbicularis oculi resistance exercise simply means the circular muscle that surrounds your entire eye. Press 2 fingers gently against your outer eye corner, close your eye firmly against that resistance, hold for 5 seconds, release. 10 repetitions, twice daily. Second, never sleep face down, and add 1 extra pillow to keep your head elevated above your heart level during sleep. Factor 4 is the one that women in perimenopause and postmenopause are almost never told about, and it is happening to your skin at a cellular level right now. Root Factor 4. Estrogen withdrawal and skin thinning. Factor 4 will explain something you may have noticed but could not name. The skin under your eyes looks more transparent now, thinner, almost like tissue paper, and you assumed that was just aging. It is not just aging. It is a specific and measurable hormonal withdrawal effect. You might be thinking, I know estrogen declines after menopause. Everyone says that. What most people do not say, and what 15 years of clinical practice has shown me over and over, is how precisely estrogen regulates the thickness and hydration of the skin, specifically in the periorbital zone, which simply means the skin surrounding the eye socket. Estrogen directly upregulates, simply means switches on, the genes responsible for hyaluronic acid production and dermal collagen synthesis in the skin. When estrogen drops, the lower eyelid skin, which is already the thinnest skin on the human body at approximately 0.5 millimeters, can lose up to 30% of its remaining dermal thickness within the first 3 years of menopause, according to research in Maturitas, a peer-reviewed journal on menopausal medicine. Thinner skin means the herniated fat bag beneath it becomes more visible even if the bag itself has not grown. You cannot get a prescription from this video. But there are 2 topical phytoestrogens. Simply means plant-based compounds that interact with estrogen receptors in the skin, available at your grocery store right now. First, a cooled green tea compress held against the lower orbital area for 10 minutes every evening. EGCG, the active compound in green tea, has demonstrated estrogen receptor binding activity in dermal tissue in multiple in vitro studies. Second, a mask made of 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed mixed with 1 teaspoon of raw honey, applied under the eyes for 15 minutes 3 times per week. Flaxseed lignans are the most potent dietary phytoestrogens identified in research to date. The 5th and final factor is the one almost nobody in this space talks about, because it lives entirely in your stress response, not in your skincare routine. Root Factor 5, cortisol dysregulation and adrenal fat redistribution. Factor 5 is the hidden driver, the one that makes everything else worse, and the one that will undo all your progress if you do not address it directly. You might be thinking, stress affects my skin. I know that. But what you do not know is the specific anatomical pathway through which chronically elevated cortisol, simply means the primary stress hormone produced by your adrenal glands, directly enlarges the orbital fat compartments and accelerates septal breakdown simultaneously. Here is the mechanism. Cortisol activates glucocorticoid receptors, simply means specialized receptor sites, on fat cells throughout the body, signaling them to accumulate more lipid. The orbital fat compartments, which already sit in a mechanically vulnerable position behind a weakening septum, are highly sensitive to glucocorticoid signaling. At the same time, cortisol directly suppresses collagen synthesis and increases the production of matrix metalloproteinases, which simply means enzymes that actively break down existing collagen in connective tissue. So cortisol is simultaneously inflating the fat pushing forward and dissolving the wall meant to hold it back. A study in psychoneuroendocrinology found that women with chronically elevated morning cortisol showed significantly greater periorbital tissue laxity compared to age-matched controls. Most treatments address the fat or the skin. None of them address the hormonal signal telling your body to keep accumulating fat and keep destroying collagen. Your solution is a 2-part evening protocol. First, half a teaspoon of ashwagandha powder. An adaptogen simply means a compound that helps normalize stress hormone levels. Stirred into 8 ounces of warm oat milk, consumed 30 minutes before bed. Research in the Journal of the American Nutraceutical Association found that ashwagandha reduced serum cortisol by 27.9% over a 60-day period. Second, 10 minutes of direct morning sunlight exposure, without sunglasses, standing near a window or outdoors, within the first 30 minutes of waking. This resets the cortisol awakening response, which simply means it trains your body to produce cortisol in a sharp, healthy morning spike rather than a prolonged elevated plateau throughout the day. Now let me put all 5 of these factors together into a protocol you can start this week. This is not a list of tips. This is a system, and the sequence matters. Each week builds the foundation for the next. Week 1, inflammation shutdown. Your only job in week 1 is to stop adding fuel to the fire. Every morning, mix 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar into 8 ounces of warm water and drink it before anything else. This is your potassium flush. Remove all added sugars and reduce sodium to under 1,500 milligrams per day. Read your labels because sodium hides in bread, sauces, and canned food. Every evening, brew 1 bag of green tea, let it cool completely, soak 2 cotton pads in the cooled tea, and hold them against your lower orbital area for 10 full minutes. Sleep on your back with 1 extra pillow. Nothing more this week. Week 2, structural rebuilding. Add the collagen protocol on top of week 1. Every morning, eat half a cup of raw red bell pepper alongside 2 eggs. The eggs provide glycine and proline, the primary amino acids your body uses to build collagen, and the bell pepper provides the vitamin C needed to activate the process. 3 evenings per week, replace your green tea compress with the flaxseed mask. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed mixed with 1 teaspoon of raw honey, applied under the eyes for 15 minutes, then rinse with cool water and apply the green tea compress afterward. Week 3, lymphatic activation. Add the orbicularis oculi resistance exercise, 10 repetitions against 2-finger resistance at the outer eye corner, every morning after washing your face and every evening before your compress. Add a cold to warm facial contrast rinse. 30 seconds of the coldest water your tap produces directed at your face, followed by 30 seconds of warm water, repeated 3 times. This vascular cycling simply means alternating constriction and dilation of blood vessels, mechanically assists lymphatic flow in the periorbital region. Week 4, cortisol, reset, and system lock. Add the ashwagandha oat milk drink every evening. Add 10 minutes of morning sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. Maintain every element from weeks 1 through 3 simultaneously. Bonus technique, corrected lymphatic spoon drainage. Take a stainless steel spoon, chill it in the freezer for 5 minutes, then using gentle upward and outward pressure, not just cold pressure, glide it from the inner corner of your eye along your orbital rim toward your ear in 3 slow passes. Hold at 3 points: the inner corner, the midpoint beneath the pupil, and the outer corner. 5 seconds each. This directional pressure mechanically moves lymphatic fluid toward the preauricular node in front of your ear. Do this every morning before washing your face. The cold is secondary. The direction is everything. By day 28, evaluate your results in the same lighting, at the same time of day, on the same side of the room. The system works when all elements are running together. Now I want to speak directly to your decade, because this is where your age in the comments becomes genuinely useful to you, not to me. If you are in your 40s, your primary driver is almost certainly the beginning of orbital septal laxity combined with the first wave of estrogen decline. Your window for prevention is still wide open, and collagen rebuilding is your most powerful tool right now. If you are in your 50s, cortisol dysregulation and lymphatic stagnation are now compounding on top of the structural changes. Your protocol must address the stress axis directly. The ashwagandha and morning light protocol in week 4 is non-negotiable for you. If you are in your 60s or beyond, the thinning of the lower eyelid skin is now the amplifying factor. The phytoestrogen protocol and the flaxseed mask move from optional to essential. Drop your age in the comments right now. When you come back to this video, and you will want to know which phase of this you were in when you started. 5 root factors. Let me name them each with their solution so you have this clearly. Factor 1. Collagen collapse, solved with daily red bell pepper and protein pairing. Factor 2. Chronic subclinical inflammation from sodium and sugar, solved with the morning potassium flush and a 21-day sugar elimination. Factor 3. Lymphatic stagnation, solved with the orbicularis oculi resistance exercise, elevated sleep position, and directional cold spoon drainage. Factor 4. Estrogen withdrawal and skin thinning, solved with the cooled green tea compress and the ground flaxseed mask. Factor 5. Cortisol dysregulation, solved with evening ashwagandha oat milk and morning sunlight exposure within 30 minutes of waking. These 5 elements are not a list of things to try. They are one system targeting one problem from 5 different biological angles simultaneously. And that is why this works when everything else has not. One important clinical note. If you notice sudden unilateral swelling, simply means puffiness or fullness on only one side of your face, that does not follow the typical morning worse, afternoon better pattern, please seek medical evaluation promptly, as this can indicate lymph node changes or orbital pathology that requires clinical assessment. This protocol supports your body's natural structural and hormonal function. It does not replace a clinical examination. No clinic will walk you through this, right? Because there is no billing code for teaching you to use red bell pepper and flaxseed. There is no procedure to schedule, no product to sell, and no follow-up appointment to book. This channel exists for one reason: to give women over 50 the clinical truth about what is happening in their bodies, in language that actually makes sense. I am Dr. Elena Voss, and after 15 years in practice, I still believe the most powerful tool a woman has is accurate information. What you see under your eyes is not a flaw. It is your body telling you something specific, and now you know exactly what it is saying. If there is another woman in your life who has been told this is just aging and there is nothing she can do, share this video with her. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it now. Not for me, but so that the next time your body sends you a signal, you will already know where to come for the answer.